Hi, I'm Dale Steyn, and Sunrise has given me a little challenge over here. They're going to send me a couple pictures, and I'm going to try and go into my memory bank and remember moments from those pictures and tell you a little bit about a story, a little bit about what happened. Okay, so this first picture is a celebration of me bowling Michael Vaughn. And yeah, it's kind of funny because I think a lot of people always mention that Michael Vaughn delivery. They always come to me and they're like, oh, that Michael Vaughn delivery. And they always think that it's my first test wicket, when in actual fact, I think it was like my third. It was the second innings, it wasn't the first. I think my first wicket was Marcus Trescothic, left-hander. This one to Michael was probably a little bit more special. It kind of pitched on, I'd say like middle, maybe middle and leg, I don't know. And like just straightened, nipped, maybe it hit a crack, I don't know. But it kind of set it up for me, because since then it just became this, and it was good that it happened early, because it's become this thing that a lot of people have looked at me and they've gone, that delivery. And since then, I've been pretty fortunate to replicate it a few times throughout my career. From my debut, it was pretty interesting. We were here in PE, we were in another hotel just down the road. Yeah, it was a lot of nerves. Myself and A.B. de Villiers made our test debut together. It's quite interesting because they gave us this task of doing a speech in front of the Proteas, in front of the cricket team, about the history of cricket. We had to dress up in our number ones, and A.B. went first. He had Gerald de Kock help him, who was our manager at the time, help him with a lot of like homework and leading up into the test match. And A.B. did this whole speech, and then it was my turn afterwards. And by that point, everyone was kind of laughing. So the joke was like over. So this is the second picture. This is Dwayne Bravo with only one stump standing. That was a T20 in Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha, as it's now said. Yeah, I got 4 for 9 in this game. I can remember it clearly. I bowled from the top end, I think the duck pond end, ran in and bowled pretty quickly. So I ran in from the top end, ran downhill, bowled these beautiful Yorkers, got them in the block hole. I cleaned a bunch of batters up. I remember getting Marlon Samuels with a slower ball, probably one of my best slower balls I've ever bowled. The ball itself probably wasn't a great ball, but I think the fear of the Yorker had gotten into Marlon's head, and it was a nice one to outfox him. But I remind DJ Bravo about this one from time to time. It's a good one. My way to 50 against the West Indies. Again here in Gqeberha at St. George's Park. Yeah, I think I got this 50 or 23 or maybe 22 or 24 balls, I can't remember. I think it's the second fastest or the fastest Test 50 by a South African batter in Test history. So that's pretty cool. I don't have many batting records. I know that I've hit, I think I'm in like the top 4 sixes, most sixes for South African batsmen, which is quite cool because I was a lower order batsman. So that's a nice stat to have. I may have even just gotten past Sean Pollock, which would have been a great thing, a great achievement. But this game was great. I was batting just before tea. Shannon Gabriel was bowling real gas, and he was roughing us up. I think this game was also Temba Bavuma's debut game. And managed to get to tea. I think I faced 3 or 4 deliveries. And after tea, I just decided the best way to combat this pace was to really go at it. Jerome Taylor was bowling from the top end. I kind of took him down, and then they brought on Suleiman Ben, who, you know, spinner to a tail end, I'm always going to go for it. And managed to get a bunch of sixes. This is also a fun one. This is a picture of me pointing at Brad Haddin's middle stump. So this happened twice in the game. The first innings, I managed to get Hads through the gate, and the second innings, it looked identical. You know, if you watch it on the replay, it literally looks like it's the exact same ball, an exact same wicket, 2 times through the gate with a ball that just tailed back in a little bit, and middle stump both times. I wasn't really a big middle stump kind of person. I often like to try and hit the top or off stump, but in this occasion, when the ball is reversing a little bit, you tend to aim at middle and off. Those are kind of like the stumps that you've got in your mind's eye. So when I'm letting the ball go, I'm really envisioning the ball tailing into off stump, and if it goes a little bit more, it will sometimes take out middle. And this occasion was just wonderful that both balls worked out perfectly. And Haddin really didn't have much of a defense. His feet didn't really move too much, and the ball was going super late and pretty quickly from the top end again. This is my favorite end. I took so many wickets there. I don't think I took a wicket from the bottom end throughout my whole career. I don't know, like if I go back to the flick through here, I mean, it kind of started with that, you know, like with Michael Vaughn right there. Even the Triscothic one, I'd taken a bunch of wickets when I was playing for the Titans, and I was getting really excited. And my first season of playing for the Titans, I didn't play a lot. Then my second season of playing for the Titans, I didn't have a contract, which was quite interesting. So I ended up playing for South Africa, and I didn't even have a domestic contract, which was a fairly big deal. So I think when I was celebrating to show how much it meant to me and how much work that I'd kind of put in without being paid, you know. I was a professional cricketer that wasn't being paid. And yet somehow I managed to get selected to play for South Africa during that time. So yeah, the celebration just kind of grew from there and just became part of me. My teammates loved it. I think they really kind of excelled and felt that energy, and it worked for them. So yeah, it just became a bit of a trademark, and throughout my career I just tried to change it up wherever I could. I loved watching Brett Lee celebrate. He was just one of my favorite players. Alan Donald with some of his celebrations. So they're fast bowlers, I'm a fast bowler. I kind of like just brought it into my game.